What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Finally, I am doing another rant video. You guys really loved that back in the day when I used to do these rant videos where I talked about something that I feel passionate about, that I have a lot to say about, and I'm very opinionated on, and we kind of just discuss the goods and the bads of this specific topic. So hopefully you guys keep an open mind when I'm talking about this, and make sure to throw your opinions in the comments below, because I am interested in any side of this that I maybe didn't address. And I did leave out some stuff in the very first recording of this, so I'm going to try again to incorporate all of my thoughts into this one rant. The topic of which we are talking about today is ranked Skywars on the Hypixel network. I have kind of formulated this idea of doing a rant on it for quite some time now, because of how problematic this has been throughout the course of it existing on this network. But recently it has gotten absolutely out of control with not only cheaters, but the entire concept of ranked is completely out of whack, and it is just not organized how it should be. The only reason that I'm even mentioning this is because I've been watching a lot of Nick's live streams in which he's grinding to Masters Division, and I'm sitting here watching him play the same 20 people 35 times in a 2-hour video. Like that, he plays such a small percentage of the player base the entire time he's streaming. And the problem with that is that he's getting matched up with blatant cheaters 20 times. And sometimes it can be back-to-back games. He's matched with the same person. If he doesn't quit the game, he's going to get hacked on and lose points. So thanks to this new matchmaking system in which you are matched with people of similar rating as yourself, you only end up playing the same people repeatedly. There's no diversity. What ends up happening is you either get matched up with a cheater and then you just keep getting matched with that person until one of the two of you quits, or secondly, you're matched with people that you know, such as friends, or people that you know that can beat you, and therefore you spend 2 hours not getting anywhere because you are losing and winning to each other, just back and forth, repeatedly. Now, I'm looking at this with a mindset that is not based around Minecraft. I'm looking at all of the other competitive titles that we have right now, and what they do, and why their games are actually competitive versus what ranked Skywars is. To throw in some context, you have games like Overwatch, Dota, Counter-Strike, I would say obviously League as well, and then you're starting to have games like H1 and Battlegrounds that are huge competitive titles. There's so many others that those are just the main ones that come to my head right off the top, but they're huge titles, and you see they all have ranking systems. They're based off of ranking systems, and you see these games and how, you know, they do have their flaws, but they work so much better in a ranked manner. The overwhelming reason that they work so well, and this is one thing I left out last recording of this, is that everyone has access to the exact same thing. The only thing that changes in those games is cosmetics. Cosmetics do nothing to you, it just changes the look of your gun or character or whatever is in that game. Then it is based off of people's skill and communication with each other, and not how long people play the game and what they have unlocked. In a true competitive experience, which is implied by ranked Skywars, this should be the case. I know Justin said it in many of his videos, and I totally agree. The game will never truly be competitive unless this is taken out. Everyone should have access to the same base kits, everyone should have the same exact perks, if any perks at all, and everyone should be on the same level playing field. That is only one of the huge issues with ranked Skywars. I've touched on the other one, how you just are constantly paired with either cheaters or players of your same skill level, so therefore you don't really move anywhere. You just constantly lose and then win and then lose. I want to elaborate on the part that I'll be talking about the most in this video, which is the cheating problem. When you look at other titles that are currently out, the top players in those games do not cheat. They have been accused of cheating, but frankly, a very, very small percentage of them have ever cheated in those games, and especially remained at the top without people knowing they're cheating and continued to cheat. In those communities, when someone is exposed for cheating, everyone freaks out. It is the craziest thing. Now look at Minecraft. It's expected that people in the top 10 in the world in Hypixel ranked Skywars are cheating. 2 players this season have already been stat wiped for this season for cheating. It was number 1 and 2. I believe at that time Nick was around number 3, so he should have been technically number 1 at that time. But the 1 and 2 people in the world, and I'm not going to name names. We don't want a witch hunt. We don't want any kind of situation like that. But those 2 people were cheating, the number 1 and the 2 in the world. And I know that's kind of like a blanket statement. It's like, oh, well, how many people really do play ranked, and can you really consider that the best in the world? Obviously, it's a much smaller population in terms of who's actually playing ranked than these other titles that I'm talking about. But you have to consider it's unique in the fact that it's Hypixel Skywars, and it's a ranked system. So technically, yes, they are the top in the world in this game that we're talking about. Not to mention the other several, 3 to 4, in Masters Division that are also currently cheating and are not banned. Again, not naming names, but I've talked to many people who have given me the exact same names. And at this point, I would just like to state that I do not blame Hypixel for the huge cheating problem, because it stems all across Minecraft. I would wager a very large bet that Minecraft has the highest percentage of cheaters out of any multiplayer game currently being played. It is so easy to get your hands on a client for free, and there's so many pretty much undetectable clients out there for a very small amount of money that work on most servers. Let's face it, Watchdog is absolutely garbage. I'm not hating on them for making an effort and making Watchdog. It doesn't work. Yes, it works to a certain extent, but it doesn't help enough. And you can't put all of that pressure on the mods to get every single player that's blatantly cheating on this server banned, because there's so many of them. So I'm not blaming Hypixel for this incredible problem of just about everybody cheating. It really should be on Mojang, I believe, at this point, to acknowledge that multiplayer Minecraft exists and PvP exists, and they should create their own anti-cheat, which would be so much more reliable. But obviously that probably won't happen, so it's put on servers to do their best to keep cheaters off their network. Some servers do a way better job than others. Hypixel is really struggling, obviously, because everyone comes there to cheat because it's so easy to. To put it into context, I probably report 3 to 4 bee-hoppers a day. Bee-hoppers, not just people that use in Killora, people that are bee-hopping around the map. I report 3 to 4 of these people a day, and I'm lucky, and I get excited if one of these people gets banned in a week. In a week straight. I play 2 to 3 hours a day, probably, maybe 1 to 2, depending on the day. So I'm reporting a whole ton of people a week, and I'm excited when I finally see one get banned. Usually it's like bi-weekly that I see one get banned, and we're talking about bee-hoppers in that situation. That is not the thing that we're talking about in ranked. These ranked players that all have ranks on the server and all pour money into the server, they are not going to be cheating that blatantly. We're talking increments of maybe a half block, a block, even, obviously there's some more obvious ones out there that extend it even further, but we're talking smaller increments of just extended range. Maybe some KB modifying going on, there's a lot of that, and some other things as well. But we're not talking about anything crazy, which is why it's so hard for these players to get banned. No matter how many videos you see on a specific player cheating their ass off, staff are really reluctant to ban them, and frankly, in ranked specifically, I honestly think it's because they have ranks on the server and they give the server money. As sad as that is, I believe the staff do not want to ban the people that actually give a constant inflow of cash to the server. You see in a lot of these situations, they continually give that player the benefit of the doubt, saying this evidence isn't good enough, this evidence isn't good enough, when a lot of those specific clips that I've seen of specific players, I would say without a doubt they're cheating, and I guarantee you most of the players that actually play the game day in and day out would also agree that they're cheating. Going back to watching Nick's live streams, in one of them I continually just saw Nick and Matt, who was he was #1 build on Badlion for, I don't know if he still is, but he was for quite some time. So you better believe that he knows what he's looking for in a cheater. I mean, he's not, obviously we can all identify people that are flying and bee-hopping and have anti-KB. On Badlion, those players that are cheating they at least try to conceal a little bit more. So you know that he knows exactly what to look for, slight range extensions and stuff like that. And I'm just seeing him and Nick talk back and forth all stream about who's cheating, who to look out for, who to leave the game when you see them, all of that stuff, just constantly. So you know it's bad in that situation when the players are so much more knowledgeable on who's actually cheating than the staff that are actually looking into these reports. Again, not blaming the staff because their job is really not to play the game day in and day out. It's to keep the server operational, help people, and all of those different things. Banning is frankly only one of their many duties, so you can't really expect them to be all that knowledgeable. and know exactly what to look for in a lot of situations. A lot of them do a pretty decent job, but now I'm going to try to wrap this entire discussion about ranked up, kind of linking it back to the entire matchmaking system in which you're paired with people of equal rank, and why this is a completely backward system for the way that Minecraft and Hypixel in particular is currently being run. 1 out of the 4 people in your ranked game, if you're a certain rating, most likely will be cheating in some way. And that's just the sad truth. The problem with this is that you're constantly matched with that person, as I've said. So what that's doing is actually keeping the legit players from reaching the top and letting everyone else reach the top or closer to the top than they actually should be. So therefore, the entire concept of ranked doesn't make any sense, because it's not actually the highest ranked, aka the highest skilled, or the people that know how to play the game the best. It's actually just kind of more or less completely random, filled with a couple actually talented players, a bunch of cheaters, and then a bunch of random people that just get lucky with their placements or quit out of any single match that they have any sort of competition in. So all of these cheaters that are lower ranks that aren't going to make it into the top, even cheating, they aren't going to make it into the top tier of players or the top tier of ratings. All they're doing is keeping all of these other legitimate players that could be way higher up than they are, they're just keeping those players down, which is a huge problem. And fundamentally, it ruins the entire concept of a ranking system. I know this video is very long, but and if you've made it this far, seriously, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. Let me know. Type Mindman in the comments if you are still here. But just to, again, to tie this whole thing up, when you look at all of these other titles, and again, it's so hard to compare because obviously Minecraft is not nearly as serious and can never be as serious, especially with the problems that it's currently facing I've talked about in this video. But when you're comparing other titles that are competitive with Minecraft, another huge issue is that when people get to the top, they, especially, and I'm going to use this as an example, in H1Z1 and Pub Battlegrounds in particular, the top players in the world all stream and record their videos. They do this so that they can, without a doubt, prove that they are legitimate and that they're playing by the rules and that they have no fishy stuff going on. Pretty much every single person in the top will be streaming. Now, granted, it doesn't matter if they're all popular, but they are making the effort of streaming and recording so that they have evidence that they are legitimate, and that is where this goes downhill. Obviously, you cannot expect players to do that, but that is how you know that very, very, very few people in the top in any other game are cheating, because they're all streaming or recording. This is true with Overwatch, Dota, all of those games. In Minecraft, that is not true. Some people may say that they're recording all their games. No one does that, and so you can just willingly cheat all the time, and unless someone is actively watching all of your games or the very important instant moments that you need to cheat or toggle, it's impossible to really know. And that's kind of the issue, is that there's no proof. They don't have to back themselves up about them not cheating. There's nothing like that implemented. So that's just another thought. I think that'll do it for this video. I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time now. I finally have enough information to make a good, comprehensive ranked Skywars rant video for you guys. As always, let me know what you think. I want to know both sides, you know, people that think it is the best thing in the world and people that agree with me and people that have any opinion. It doesn't matter. Just put it in put in the comments. Let me know what you think of this whole situation. And as always, I really appreciate you guys watching. A like would be so much appreciated, as this video took forever to make. Subscribe if you're brand new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.